Kroppernick on the number 55. So we got the revs up and the gate down. Yeah, Stasek Holshot as we go racing in Supermini 2. Jason Wygant and Ricky Carmichael, multi-time champion here at Loretta Lynn Ranch, can help give us the call. And Ben Garib, who was very fast in practice yesterday, the rider out of Chile, grabbing the Holshot. But you want to watch out for the number 4 trying to wrestle it away. That's GT Money, Gavin Towers on the Kawasaki.
Right there, going down on that inside single. I just was down on the track, Weege, and I can't believe how rough it is out there. I mean, it's rougher than a pro national for sure. Going down the straightaways, I mean, the braking bumps going into the corners are really, really rough. It's insane just how fast these guys go over that, negotiate all the elements that they are crossing over. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I know the basic lay of the land is similar to what it was when you were racing back here in the 90s, but is the soil softer? Is it rougher? Is it a lot different?
I feel like the top is softer, but the base is a little bit harder. And I think just over time, for so many bikes, you know, they have four-wheelers here as well. And just over time, some of that real rich soil goes away. But the guys, everyone at MX Sports have done a great job trying to replenish that dirt, bringing in sand each year and integrating that into the track, which makes a lot. Now, I will tell you, I think it's a lot rougher now than it was when I raced.
That's what I'm getting at.
A lot of that is because of the sand that they have brought in.
Well, here's your example right now. Gavin Towers, little head shake into that corner on the 4. Jaden Clough on the number 5, going to try to give him a run for second. Look at this 4-pack. This is good stuff.
Well, it is. And I tell you what, I get a big old smile when I see a number 4 on him.
Out front.
He's got that number 4 on. He needs to keep the lead.
All right, Gavin Towers, no pressure. You got Ricky Carmichael saying you got to make the number look good here. Hey, you rode it on the Kawasaki for a little while as well. Absolutely. Ryder DeFrancesco made 2 passes in 2 corners. He's up from 4th to 2nd on the move on the 23.
Love that sand section, that white beach sand going there by the mechanics area. That's really cool. And what's good about the sand is it really forms up alternate lines. It doesn't become one line, because one line will get rough and they move a little bit further to the outside and keep moving. So it's multi-groove racetrack.
Watching Ryder D here on the 23, closing in on Towers, a pair of Team Green Kawasaki riders. And Team Green does that, man. They're not afraid to put 2 or 3 stars in the same class and let them race it out. They're trying to scout their own guys for the future. Ryder D going to run this outside. Can he beat Towers to the inside? Out of the corner. Towers airs it out. Holding on to the lead, but this might not last. In the storyline we go. Another charge from Ryder D. Down to the inside. Makes the pass. Oh, Towers not giving up on it though, RC.
No, he's in the right spot right now. He's going to be up on the inside for this right-hander, but I believe the 23 at DeFrancesco is going to close him out.
Wow, so that was a nice charge, but still with those multiple lines, it took Ryder D 4 corners to make that pass official.
Look how fast these guys go on these bikes. It's incredible, the amount of talent that these young riders have. Not just these 2 guys, Towers and DeFrancesco. I mean, the whole field is just so talented, and it blows my mind. I love watching the younger riders and how they're able, the things that they're able to do on the bike, maneuver the bike, how they position themselves and their technique. Have come a long ways since my day, for sure. When I think about what it was like racing here at Loretta Lynn, so I can watch these kids and what they're able to do. It's just so fun.
So if we had the high-end Ghost software and we were able to lay footage of you from like 94 or something.
Dude, it'd be embarrassing.
And you wouldn't want to see that side by side with these guys?
I definitely wouldn't.
Okay, all right. No Ghost software. Don't find the old YouTube footage somewhere of RC. What years would you have graduated out of Mini? What was your last year?
I believe it was 95.
95?
95,
okay.
yeah. Because went to the big bikes in 96, yeah.
I got bad news. That's 25.
That's scary, dude.
Can you believe that?
No, I can't think about it. 25 years. I mean, I've been retired from racing for 13.
Oh, my gosh.
Think of that.
I always say that puts pressure on you if you come out for opening ceremonies and people are expecting you to still blitz whoops.
Yeah, dude, I'm like, yeah, I mean, well, I got to be careful. Like, I'm 40. Chad Reed's 30 or 38, so go for it.
That's true. He was top 10 runner at the end of the year. So right now we're watching Ryder DeFrancesco leading Gavin Towers. And Jaden Clough is still 5th. Ben Garib had the lead momentarily. He is in 4th. Evan Ferry up to 5th on the 75. Working their way through a rider who was down early. We had a big pileup in the second turn. So they're already in the lap traffic. Evan Ferry 5th, Caden Smith 6th, Colin Allen 7th, Jordan Miller, Landon Hartz, and Evan Stice round out the top 10. That rundown brought to you by our friends at Monster Energy, and they're backing these two Kawasaki riders. Man, Gavin Towers is doing everything he can.
Well, he's keeping Francesco in sight, and that's what you got to do. He's got to hold on. Maybe he'll learn a few things. You learn the lines and pick up a few little tips from the guy in front of him.
Towers is not going to get tired.
No.
Okay, GT will not get tired. I know DeFrancesco's in great shape too, but I'd rather be where Towers is right now. I'd rather be in that second position. But you let DeFrancesco get much further away and just catch it
once out. Once you lose that draft, if you will, it's really hard to reel it back in unless you're just night and day faster. So he's got to do the best he can to stay right on the rear wheel of DeFrancesco.
Got to keep that toe going on.
That's right.
got to.
And it's hard to do. It's hard to do, but it can be done. And, you know, he's learning. This is the best way to learn right here when you can follow somebody. I was able to do that in my early years as a rookie, and when I turned pro behind Kevin Windham. I learned so much from that guy, just getting in tow and watching the things that he is able to do. I learned a lot.
And you were able to use that. What happens, though, a lot of kids will get back there, and then they start riding the leader's race, or they start, making a similar mistake that he does. So once you get that maturity level, then you put it to your advantage.
Well, and the thing about, I want to say, too, you come to Loretta Lynn's, remember, it's a 3-moto format. So you look at the guys from, say, 3rd to 7th. There's no need to panic just yet. You got 2 more motos after this to redeem yourself. Yes, you need to get up there as quick as you can to better your odds. However, no need to panic here in this first moto. It's a lot easier for things to get, untouchable or things to get out of reach if you go and blow it that first moto. So remember, it's a game of average here.
The battle we're watching right now is Garib on the 39 KTM and Evan Ferry, who I believe has gotten around Jaden Clough. The 75 is Ferry on the Rockstar Husqvarna. So that is Garib and Ferry battling for, should be 3rd and 4th, with Towers and DeFrancesco up ahead. There is Ferry. He's stepped up his game ever since he got signed by that Rockstar Husqvarna team. Dominated at the Monster Energy Cup last year and showing good speed here. In fact, maybe they can make a run at it with the leaders. That'd be fun to see.
Yeah, and if you're Evan Ferry, if you get up in there to that 3rd position, you're setting yourself up nice for a shot at this overall.
Yeah, exactly. That one position early in the week could make all the difference.
Doesn't seem like it, but it is huge. Just, 3rd, you're in the game. You start getting 4th and 5th. You got your work cut out for you. And at that point, you're depending on having a little bit of help, and that's not the position you want to be in. However, you never want to give up and just keep grinding it out.
All right, we got Ricky Carmichael, the analyst for Monster Energy Supercross on television, up here with us in the tower watching Ben Garib right now in the 3rd place spot. A 1:59.2. He did it. He actually went quicker than the 2nd place rider Towers. Almost has Towers in his sights.
Yeah, they got him.
Whoa, I don't know what these accusations are from Big John. Wow. Coming in with some heavy-duty evidence.
This guy is a legend.
Wow.
The LLPD right here. You don't mess with Big John.
No, that guy's international. That guy took care of you.
I wouldn't go anywhere without him.
Every country in the world, that guy's
100%.
been with you,
we had a damn good time.
That guy set the standard for security right there.
Oh, ain't a better guy in the business.
Oh, Evan Ferry now closing in on Garib. They are side by side. 10 Commandments. Look at that move, RC.
Right through the 10 Commandments. Evan Ferry just making it happen, doing what he needs to do, and now he's going to put himself, see here, that'll put him in the 4th spot.
Did Ferry even have a rhythm, or did he just send it through that?
It looked to me like he was sending it.
Exactly. Just clip him, whatever it takes. I got to get to 3rd. Evan's showing some serious determination here. He wants to run down Tower.
Well, now he's got a clean slate, and he's going to have to throw it down right here. Make some moves, find some good lines, and just put in as many solid laps as he can to try to bridge a gap. They're a little bit ahead of him, but they're in sight, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, you're only talking about 3 seconds or so to the 2nd place rider, Towers. And as Matt Watson points out, Towers doesn't get tired, so you're going to have to earn it if you want to run him down. Jaden Clough is next, by the way. He's in 5th.
Much easier when you get sight of that rear fender, though, huh, Rick?
Hey,
much easier when you're in the same straight, in the same corner, bro.
Yeah,
much easier.
When you can see the guy in front of you, it definitely helps. And talking about getting tired, let's not forget, these guys are kids. They got that kid
Yeah,
energy.
okay.
They ain't like us sitting up here in the air conditioner right now. You know, they can last a lot longer than we can.
I got tired walking up the steps.
All right.
Okay.
I get tired just thinking about the steps, so you got me
Oh, there we go. Okay. Mentally tired. We're headed past the billboards and then this Yamaha mechanics area. Ryder DeFrancesco continues to lead. Evan
Lap
Ferry
times.
is closing up.
Evan
big
Ferry, he
time.
ran a 1:57.0. That was the fastest guy on the track this last lap. He is on the move right now. He wants a piece of Towers. He gained 2.5 seconds there. Almost 3.
10 minutes.
Wow, yeah, halfway mark of this moto. So we're going to see who has it down the stretch. Been wondering if the little break time, most of these kids, they have places to ride, so they've got to stay on top of their training program, but we didn't have any spring racing like we normally do. After the Ricky Carmichael amateur race at Daytona, that was pretty much the end of it. How will it affect things? Evan Ferry, whatever he's done, it is working because he has caught Gavin Towers.
Well, he's pulled right up on the rear tire. He is going for it, and he's probably thinking now, man, I've made up so much time on Towers. Maybe I have a shot at the win, but he cannot spend too much time behind the number 4, because if he does, it's going to give an opportunity for 23 DeFrancesco to keep continuing to pull away. But that was a really impressive lap time that Evan Ferry had that last lap. If he can keep that up, he is definitely going to be in a good spot here late in the race.
If Towers picks up the pace, then both of them start to chase down DeFrancesco. But normally, the opposite's going to happen. These guys are going to tangle. They're going to slow each other down. Ferry needs to make the pass quick, like you said, if he's going to make the pass.
Ferry on the inside. You love how raceable this track is. Oh, Ferry almost made it happen. The two lines become one on the exit of that corner, and it almost gobbled them both up. Now Ferry way along the outside line. That old Ryan Villapoto line on the outside of the Supermini. Feet up on the pegs and makes the pass.
Got the pass. I want to see what his lap time's going to be. Lost a little bit of time there trying to get by Towers. Let's see here. DeFrancesco 56, but Evan Ferry 58, so he lost 2 seconds. However, positioning himself really well, getting that second spot. If he can hold on to this, he'll be in a nice spot going into the second motos.
Those 2 seconds were used up making that pass. That's behind us. Now we race forward again, we hope.
I'm just still impressed. Evan Ferry, this is a big step up. He's always ridden well at Loretta's, but this is next level stuff for him. Tracking down Towers, throwing it sideways over that triple after the finish line. There's Towers now on the number 4. Garib and Chloe are top 5. Then Colin Allen, Caden Smith, Jordan Miller is 8th. Dakota Aldridge is 9th. And Evan Stice rounds out your top 10. Watching Evan Ferry here in the 10 Commandments. Can he get DeFrancesco in sight?
Well, Jason, going back to what you were saying earlier, ever since Evan Ferry has gotten on this Rockstar Husky team, you know, this debut was at the Monster Energy Cup last year. I mean, he has really gelled with the bike. I don't know what it is, but it's like he's a new rider. I mean, the guy is just... the way he rides it, charging, his results. I mean, he came out there with the win, and it's been pretty impressive to see. It's almost like he's clicked another gear since getting on that team.
We talked about flipping that switch. Some riders, you know as well as I, 13, 17 sometimes, you never know. But he flipped that switch when he made this team. I saw a different Evan Ferry at High Point this spring than I saw last year.
Yeah,
there he is right now, working his way forward. Hey, RC, I got a chance. I want to ask, we're going to have a pro national here at Loretta's for the first time, probably the last time, coming up on August 15th. What is this track going to be like?
Well, it's funny you asked that because I was talking to Kevin Windham down in the infield. I'm like, dude, I don't want any part of this track. I personally feel it's rougher than an outdoor national, pro national right now.
Really?
Yeah, because of all the sand and everything. I think the conditions are absolutely brutal. If they can replicate this, it is going to be fun to watch to see how strong these guys are, because it is super rough.
And that's because of that base he talked about. And then you put more soft and soft on top. You're going to see lines that have never been thought of by the pros.
Yeah.
You're going to see a rough degree factor.
Yeah, it's different. So when I came back and I raced Loretta's back in 2012, the lines are a little bit different. The corners are just a little bit tighter. So the pro lines will be, a little bit more open, carrying a little bit more speed. The braking points will be a little bit different. So the braking bunks will form up in different spots. But still, this is a really, really rough track for these amateurs.
Now, we also see how wide it is. They'll go all the way inside, all the way outside. They use every inch. Do you think it will form up that way for the pro race, or is that a product of all these motos, all these different bikes and stuff like that?
I think it's both, and that's a great question. It's going to be hard to tell. I always feel like at the pro level compared to the amateur level, there's always it always funnels down to one fast line.
Okay, we can dream.
Well, we can dream.
Okay,
we can dream. It'll be nice to have that option. Whether they're able to make it work is a different story. So that is yet to be seen. But I think it's so cool that there's going to be a pro national here. I mean, given the circumstance, it's unfortunate how we ended up here,
right.
But I think taking advantage of that, I think everyone within the industry has always wondered what it would be like to have a pro national here at Loretta Lynn's.
Got one shot at it. That'll be August 15th. Ryder DeFrancesco has pulled away. So Towers rode well, Garib rode well, and Ferry rode well. But despite all that, Ryder D pulling away at an alarming rate. Got an 8.9 second lead. It could be up to 10 by the time this moto is over with the pace he's running. And DeFrancesco becoming one of the more decorated talents here at Loretta's. And I know he's a high-flying kid out of California, but I got to say, a lot of these titles that he's won here, he's a grinder. He's been in some battles through the years. It's not checking out, whole shot, make it easy. He has fought for a lot of these wins.
Well, he has, and, you know, it's great. He's starting to sprout up a little bit, getting a lot taller, so he has a lot more leverage on the bike. He's able to ride the bike instead of the bike riding him. And watch him now, like, he has a sizable lead. He's pulling away. He's got a 12-second lead over Evan Ferry. So at this point, his mindset just needs to be, hey, bring it home. Enjoy this lead right now, because it's not always going to be like this here at Loretta's and throughout the rest of your career. So really try to enjoy the moment and try to think about where you could be a little bit better, if that's even possible, for the next races. And you got to pay attention as well. You're coming up on lap riders, and anything can happen there.
Yeah, quite a bit of traffic here for DeFrancesco. Ferry, Towers, Garib, and Clo rounding out the top 5 as we head into Storyland. They're going to add a little bit of racetrack back here from what I heard for the pro race, just to get the lap time to be closer to what a normal pro race is, around 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes for a Supermini here. So you got to figure if you get Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb and Ken Roxon out here, they're going to go a little quicker. So they'll add some racetrack back there. Here's DeFrancesco. His kind of at the reset was always running a 199 as kind of a tribute to Travis Pastrana as his number, but then switched to the number 23, just clean slate. But the results haven't changed much. We got 2 to go, Megawatt. All right, that means I got to go down on the tower, from the tower to the podium. Good to see you,
man.
Carmichael.
Good to see you, buddy.
Always a good time.
Have a good week, and hey, good luck at the Pro National here, man.
I can't wait. I mean, same thing as you. I'm just curious. I'm so curious of what it's going to look like and how it's going to race.
I'll be tuned in. I'll be tuned in.
We'll keep you entertained as best we can, bud.
Well, less than 2 to go, RC, and I gotta tell you, Ryder T. DeFrancesco looking good for totally under control, bro.
He is on. I mean, he is clicking on all gears right now, peaking at the optimal time.
And you know what? You talked about peaking at the optimal time. Absolutely. And that little bit of growth, that little bit of leverage that you were talking about on the machine has changed his style. You know, he's not as far forward on the pegs now. Now he's a little more centered on the bike, you know, and that type of thing. And really fun watching him grow up, I can tell you that. Yeah,
he's got great style. And, I mean, I just think it feels like I've been watching him here for 20 years because he started at such a young age. And
right.
He's got this track dialed, that's for sure.
Guy was AMA 3 or something when he won that championship, that 4 to 6 championship. Guy's like an AMA 24 months or something.
Right.
AMA 2-year-old.
This track really gets rough here at the end of the day. And like we were talking about a little bit earlier, the braking bumps coming into the corners were really, really big. Look how deep the ruts are coming through the corners there. So to conditions of the track right now are very, very challenging, and these guys are just floating through there like it's nothing.
Something we forget about, and Rodney, we mentioned every now and then, but we haven't yet. Always shadows here.
Yeah.
And when the shadows affect a rut that's, you know, foot peg deep, engine case deep, that's a big deal. And if you don't have the right lens or your eyes aren't used to that transition, it can be an extra challenge here at Loretta.
Yeah, certainly, especially with these little wheels compared to the big bikes.
Right.
Makes it hard to navigate, certainly.
Ricky, you know, watching these races, we watched you growing up, and, you know, a lot of people called you a prodigy growing up through the ranks, and they recognized what the future was going to hold for you. And obviously, you lived up to all and probably exceeded a lot of the expectations of a lot of folks. Whenever you watch these new crops of riders, and you see a rider like Ryder DiFrancesco, do you see a pathway maybe similar to yours that could be available? Or do you think that today's society, with the way that the motocross world is, do you think it's a little more challenging for someone to be able to reach and achieve the feats that you did through the way that you did? Because, I mean, everybody's on such a much more even playing field now with the training and things like that, the science of the sport now, than what they were whenever you were coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think it is hard. I think that there's so many riders that are the same speed. And if you think about how it is now compared to when I was growing up, see, everybody rides together now for the most part. So everybody knows everybody's technique, strength, weaknesses. So that, in my opinion, what you're starting to see now, that's why there's so much parity and everyone's so close, because they all ride together. Right. There's no separation. In my day, we all rode by ourselves. So we had our own little secrets and things of that nature. And even at the pro level, we're getting to that crop of guys that have grown up riding at facilities. So I think it's harder.
It'd be a tough one. I have to tend to agree with you. As we take a look at our leaderboard right here, Ryder DiFrancesco taking the win. Evan Ferry in the number 2 spot. Gavin Towers will finish up in 3rd. Benjamin Garib in the number 4 spot. Jaden Clough in 5th. Then it's Colin Allen, followed by Dakota Aldrich in the number 7 spot. Evan Stice in 8th. Jordan Miller in 9th. Rounding out the top 10, Ivan Aldama Jr. and Jason Wygant standing by with our top 3 in the Supermini 213-16.
Wow, for a second I thought you were going to say I was in 11th place after you ran into that top 10 and went right into my name. That sounded good. We're going to talk to our Supermini riders down here. Ryder DiFrancesco up on the podium. I'm going to just make them stay, and we'll get right into our interview. And we got 250C coming up after this. Debriefing with Todd Hicks and everybody at the Fox and everybody involved with his crew as well. They're going to put the gold on them. And we will talk to our Moto winner of the always competitive, good to see you, Supermini class, and Ryder D on the now number 23 Monster Energy Team Green Kawasaki. All right, everybody, let's put it hands together for our Moto winner, Ryder DiFrancesco. All right, new rules this year. Step on up to the mic. Ryder D, man, this class is going really fast, but somehow you were going even faster. Did you feel good out there?
Yeah, the first couple laps are always nerve-wracking here, the first moto out the Loretta's. So try to get around everybody and get a clear track. And Towers was behind me for a while, pushing me. And once I separated from him, I was good the whole moto. So we're going to do the same thing here tomorrow and go 6 for 6.
All right, that's the goal. Throwing it down, looking for the moto sweep. Who do you want to thank, Ryder D?
My mom, my dad, Ivan and Robbie for putting in the work with me. And Monster Energy Professor Kawasaki, Renta, Fox, Alpine Stars, Scott Goggles, Dunlop Tires for staying with me all weekend and putting that fresh rubber on. And Akua watching back home, and everyone else.
Ryder DiFrancesco takes the Moto win here in Supermini. Looking for our second place rider to come on up. I believe that was Evan Ferry with a great charge through the pack. Hard earned for that silver. And that will be second place. And then third should be Towers there on that number 4. Evan Ferry will head to the stage. We'll give him a silver. Well, a good hard charge put himself in title contention after the first moto. A silver medal. The runner-up in the Rockstar Husqvarna, Evan Ferry. Yeah, we got all sorts of new rules up here on the podium. Evan, you were going real fast. What happened at the start, though? You had to make some ground up.
Yeah, I ended up pulling 26 gate chip, so I was like way on the outside. But I don't really know where I was the first lap, but I kind of pushed it a little too hard the first couple laps and just had to kind of chill out and ride my race, kind of found some better lines and got around some dudes. And then I knew Ryder was pretty far out front, and I was like, well, I can push it, maybe make a mistake here, but second is going really good in the next like 2 motos, so just trying to win the war. And yeah, it felt great after like the first couple laps, just finally found my flow.
Awesome. Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank the whole Rockstar Energy Factory Husqvarna team, Scott, Scott, Arrow, everybody that helped me come out here. My mom, my dad, my Mimi, my pop, and yeah, and just everybody that helped me get here. That's my best finish here, so I'm pretty happy with that, and ready for the moto tomorrow.
All right, let's hear it for Evan Ferry. Yeah. That's a solid pickup for that Rockstar Husqvarna team, but Team Green's got a pair of players for this one. Gavin Towers ends up in third. We're looking for Towers somewhere out there. We're listening. Let's talk to our third place finisher. He'll come on up to the stage. Gavin Towers had the good start in this one. Holds on for a third place finish and a bronze. Let's hear it for GT Money, Gavin Towers. Gavin, man, take us through that moto. Are you happy with third, or you want a little more?
I'm actually kind of disappointed, but third's a great way to start off the week. But I just, like a lot of people told me, just not get tight, and that's pretty much exactly what I did throughout the first couple of laps. And then pretty much just tried to settle. Evan ended up getting around me. He was doing a faster line through the 10 Commandments. But all in all, it was a great moto, but I just wish I could have stayed up front a little bit longer or even got the win.
All right, well, you got two more motos to get it done. Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my sister, Sydney, the whole Monster Energy, Team Green, Kawasaki, Ryan, Travis, all the PC guys, Craig, Luke, Matt, everyone over there, Mike from Monster, he's been an awesome help, Wes Kane, Seven, Scott Goggles, Bell Helmets, Kilgore Semix. I've been putting in so much work up there with Luke Fowler, Cole Jones, and Max Chiazza, and it's been just awesome. Dave Kilgore has been just working with me for the last 3 years, and we come here prepared, but I promise we have more to offer, and just everyone else, thank you so much.
He's got more in store for the next set of motos. Let's hear it for Gavin Towers.